Have you ever wondered how we learn best? Is it through listening to lectures, reading books, or perhaps through hands-on experiences? It's a question that has puzzled parents and teachers for centuries. From the ancient philosophers to modern educators, the quest to understand the most effective way to teach has been ongoing. Today, it's at the heart of a great debate in education theory versus practice. This debate influences how curriculums are designed and how classrooms are managed. Some believe a strong theoretical foundation is paramount. They emphasize the importance of understanding underlying principles and concepts. They argue that educational theories provide the roadmap for effective teaching. Others champion practical application, focusing on skills and real-world problem-solving. They believe real-world experience is the best teacher, so who's right? Is it the theorists or the practitioners? Like most things in life, the answer isn't so simple. It often depends on the context and the individual learner's needs. Both theory and practice have their own merits and limitations. Theory provides a structured framework, while practice offers adaptability and real-world relevance. In this exploration of educational approaches, we'll delve into the strengths and weaknesses of each side. We'll examine case studies and hear from experts in the field. We'll discover why an integrated approach, blending the best of both worlds, might hold the key to unlocking the true potential of education. This hybrid method could offer a more balanced and effective learning experience. Get ready to challenge your assumptions and expand your understanding of how we learn best. Join us as we navigate through the intricate landscape of education. Before we dive into the debate, let's clarify what we mean by education theory. In simple terms, it's a set of principles or ideas that explain how people learn. Think of it as a lens through which we can view and understand the learning process. These theories are not just random guesses, they are developed by researchers and educators based on careful observation and study. Theories of education come in all shapes and sizes. Some focus on the cognitive processes involved in learning, such as how we remember information or solve problems. Others emphasize the social and emotional aspects of learning, such as how motivation and classroom dynamics impact student success. Still others explore the role of culture and environment in shaping learning experiences. Regardless of their specific focus, all educational theories aim to provide a framework for understanding how learning happens. Educational theories, despite their sometimes intimidating name, offer a number of advantages. Firstly, they provide a common language and framework for educators to communicate and collaborate. Imagine trying to build a house without a blueprint. Educational theories provide the blueprint for designing effective learning experiences. They offer guidance on what to teach, how to teach it, and how to assess student learning. Furthermore, many educational theories are grounded in research. This means that they've been tested and refined over time, providing educators with evidence-based strategies for improving student outcomes. By understanding and applying these theories, teachers can make more informed decisions about their teaching practices. They can move beyond intuition and personal preferences to make choices rooted in a deeper understanding of how students learn. While educational theories are undoubtedly valuable, they also have their limitations. One criticism is that they can be too abstract and removed from the realities of the classroom. A theory might sound great on paper, but translating it into effective practice can be challenging. The complexities of individual students, classroom dynamics, and school environments can sometimes make even the most well-researched theories difficult to implement effectively. Another challenge is that an overemphasis on theory can lead to a one-size-fits-all approach to education. Every student is unique with their own learning styles, strengths, and challenges. Relying too heavily on theory can sometimes overshadow the importance of individualizing instruction to meet the diverse needs of all learners. Section 5. Practical application. Where the rubber meets the road in education. On the other side of the spectrum, we have practical application. This approach emphasizes learning by doing, immersing students in real-world experiences and hands-on activities. Think of the science student conducting experiments in the lab, the aspiring writer crafting short stories, or the future engineer designing a bridge using computer software. These experiences allow students to apply what they're learning in a tangible and meaningful way. Practical application isn't just about vocational skills or hands-on activities. It's about creating opportunities for students to actively construct their own understanding through exploration, experimentation, and problem-solving. It's about moving beyond rote memorization and passive learning, encouraging students to become active participants in their own learning journeys. Section 6, the power of doing. Advantages of practical application. Practical application offers a multitude of benefits. Firstly, it bridges the gap between theory and practice, allowing students to see the relevance of what they're learning in the real world. This can be incredibly motivating, boosting engagement and fostering a love of learning. When students are actively involved in their learning, they're more likely to remember the information and apply it in different contexts. Secondly, practical application allows students to develop essential skills that are transferable to a variety of settings. These skills go beyond the purely academic, encompassing critical thinking, problem-solving, collaboration, communication, and creativity. In today's rapidly changing world, these skills are more important than ever, equipping students to adapt and thrive in a world that demands flexibility and innovation. Section 7, the practicality paradox. Challenges of application-focused learning. Despite its many advantages, practical application also has its limitations. One challenge is that without a solid theoretical foundation, practical experiences can become disjointed and lack depth. Imagine trying to bake a cake without understanding the basic principles of baking. Similarly, students need a theoretical framework to make sense of their experiences and connect the dots between different concepts. Another challenge is that practical application can sometimes be limited by resources, time constraints, and the availability of authentic learning experiences. Not all schools have the resources to provide state-of-the-art labs, workshops, or field trips. Furthermore, focusing solely on practical application can sometimes come at the expense of developing a deep understanding of fundamental concepts and theories. Section 8. Finding the sweet spot, integrating theory and practice for educational success. So, where does this leave us in the great education debate? How do we navigate the complex landscape of teaching and learning to ensure that students gain the most from their educational experiences? The truth is, it's not an either-or proposition. We don't have to choose between theory and practice. Both theory and practice are essential ingredients in the recipe for effective education. They complement each other in ways that enhance the learning process. The key lies in finding the right balance, a dynamic interplay where theory informs practice and practice enriches theory. This synergy creates a more holistic learning experience. This integrative approach recognizes that learning is a complex process that is both cognitive and experiential, individual and social. It acknowledges the multifaceted nature of education. Imagine a medical student learning about the circulatory system. They need to grasp both the theoretical and practical aspects to fully understand the subject. They study the anatomy of the heart, understanding its structure and function, the different types of blood vessels, and how they contribute to the circulatory system and the mechanisms of blood flow. This theoretical knowledge lays the foundation for deeper understanding. This theoretical knowledge is essential, but it's not enough. Without practical application, the learning remains incomplete. To truly understand how the circulatory system works, the student needs to see it in action, perhaps through simulations, dissections, or clinical observations. These hands-on experiences bring the theory to life, making the learning process more effective and memorable. Section 9, Best Practices, a recipe for blending theory and practice. So, how do we effectively integrate theory and practice in the classroom? This is a question that educators have been grappling with for years. It starts with adopting an integrative mindset, viewing theory and practice as complementary rather than competing forces. This mindset shift is crucial for creating a cohesive learning environment. Teachers can create learning experiences that seamlessly blend theoretical concepts with practical application. This approach not only makes learning more engaging, but also more meaningful. For example, after learning about a scientific principle, students might design an experiment to test it, analyze the results, and draw conclusions based on their findings. They then reflect on how their findings relate back to the theory, deepening their understanding and making the learning experience more robust. Another key ingredient is reflective practice. This involves taking the time to think critically about what has been learned and how it has been applied. Teachers and students alike should regularly reflect on their learning experiences, considering what worked well, what could be improved, and how these insights can be applied in future learning scenarios. This ongoing reflection helps to refine understanding, identify areas for growth, and ensure that the connection between theory and practice is continually strengthened. This ongoing reflection helps to refine understanding, identify areas for growth, and ensure that learning is deep and enduring. This process of continuous improvement is vital for both students and educators. By embracing both theory and practice, we can create educational experiences that are engaging, relevant, and empowering, preparing students not just for the next test, but for the journey of lifelong learning. This holistic approach equips students with the skills and knowledge they need to succeed in an ever-changing world. By fostering a love for learning and an ability to apply knowledge in practical ways, we set the stage for a